Up next, we have another horror game from October. It's another one I streamed on the channel and I beat in 2 sessions. It was a lot of fun. It's Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan. This is from Supermassive Games, and it's a lot like their other games like The Quarry, Until Dawn, and the other Dark Pictures games, and it's essentially just kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure style game. It's almost like watching a movie. This game's only a few hours long. You just walk around like interacting with stuff as the scenes unfold, and you make decisions and do quick time events, and you hopefully try to save and or kill everyone in the group, right? You want to see what happens in this adventure. This is the first game in the Dark Pictures Anthology, although it's the second one I've played. I didn't realize that they were kind of like in an order. They're not really, but they kind of are. The narrator, he kind of carries over between the different games, but the story itself is self-contained. Now, here's my chance to brag. I got the best ending on this game and saved everyone on my first try with no help and no guide. I did it. I've never done that before in one of these styles of games. I always end up with somebody dying at some point, whether it's like Heavy Rain or Until Dawn. Someone dies, and it just didn't happen this time. And I'm really happy about that. But the ending wasn't as happy as I wanted it to be. It wasn't like as good of an ending. That being said, let's talk about the game finally. So the premise is these like rich and snotty 20-something-year-olds are trying to find this crashed World War II era plane and then scuba dive down and, I don't know, ransack it or explore it or whatever they're doing. They're just, this is their thing. This is their hobby. While they're down there, these pirates show up and they all get taken hostage essentially. And the pirates find a clue that they found down in the crashed plane mentioning Manchurian gold on this ghost ship. So off they go to this ghost ship to get this Manchurian gold. Of course, once they get there, everything goes insane and like the ship's haunted and the pirates are trying to kill everybody. Like, you know, you can figure out what's going to happen in this sort of game. You can tell. The gameplay, like I said, you just walk around as the various characters and you make decisions and do quick time events in the hopes of like saving everyone and getting off the ship. There's really not much to it. It's just sort of you experience like the game as it unfolds, and that's totally fine. Treat it like a movie. That's kind of what it is. The presentation of it looks really good. They look great. The character models are really nice. And the freaking opening credits of this game, the song is awesome. It is unbelievably cool. Check it out. I think it's the theme song of all the Dark Pictures Anthology games, and I'm happy about that. I can't wait to hear it again. I've listened to it several times on YouTube, like in the meantime. It's a killer opening track. The sound design is great with lots of like creaking and eerie sounds on the ship that really set the atmosphere. And I mean, it's well designed. You're on an old World War II era or earlier, honestly, ship. And the atmosphere is like palpable. It's really cool. And I think that that's one of like Supermassive Games as a developer's strong suits, is they just like craft these really cool environments and throw these characters in there. Usually the characters are really excellent and very believable. And I think the characters were very believable in this game. There wasn't a ton of character development because the game, like I said, is rather short compared to Until Dawn or The Quarry, which I haven't played. You still either root for or against these characters. While I mentioned like there wasn't a ton of character development because the game is really short, I really like how short these games are. It was perfect for a stream. We knocked it out in 1.5 streams. That's great. It's like a 4-hour game. That's perfect. Spend an evening or a weekend knocking it out. Have a good time. If you want to go back and get all the different endings and try to save everyone or kill everyone or only kill that one jerky guy you don't like, go right for it. You won't have a ton of time invested. So like I said, it's a good experience, but one of the downsides to the game is that the ghost ship setting doesn't really provide much variety. It was a little samey, you know, it was kind of the same most of the way through, and it got a little one note, for a lack of a better term. And the game kind of trailed off towards the end. And I played the other game, like I said in the series, Little Hope, and it did the same thing. It started kind of trailing off, especially once all the characters like got back together and they weren't separated. I feel like when they were separated, it was a lot more tense and you were more invested in it because it's just the one character. But once they met back up, it kind of like lost steam. This is a fun little game to play for Halloween, and I didn't encounter any bugs in it, unlike when I played Little Hope that crashed on me and corrupted my save, and I'm still mad about that. And I had a decent time with it. but the characters weren't as likable as I wanted and the story was a little weak. Still, Man of Medan was fun, and it's so short that I don't feel like I wasted my time with it. I will play the other Dark Pictures Anthology games. I have them all. I can't wait to stream them. I hope I get to stream them. But I would say this one, Man of Medan, the very first one, is about a 7 out of 10. A little bit better than average, but not great. Still, it's worth your time, and it's cheap.